Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Yeah, it's great. I slept like a friggin' baby last night. So Gen Con. Probably gonna talk about this for the rest of the week. I don't know. It was a big deal, right? It was the first time in 3 years that it really felt like everybody came back together. And what I mean by that is I've been doing this for a very long time, and I have a lot of friends in the gaming space, the gaming industry, that I hadn't seen in a long time. And I got to see all of them. Not all of them, but I got to see a large majority of them at Gen Con, and it really felt normal, right? And for most of them, they're still in the same place they were then. There's a few that moved positions around, but that was a very public thing. And then there was me. Before I continue with this conversation, I need to put up a disclaimer for my coworkers, family, friends, anybody who's looking at this that's going to maybe carry this message further than it needs to go. This is not an announcement. This is not some sort of I'm leaving my job or anything like that. But at this show, I got a lot of questions about where I was working and, when was I going to take a job in gaming? When was I going to start working in board games? Was I available? Was I open? That sort of stuff. And it's a question I have thought about a lot over the years. And to be honest, I thought about it a lot this week. Like, is it time for me to start thinking about what it would look like to work in the gaming industry? So, for those of you who don't know, or are just catching up with my life, I worked for Portal Games for 4-ish years as the U.S. representative. I took a paycheck. It was a very, very small paycheck, but I took a paycheck, and I worked in the industry helping, talking to retailers, pushing Portal Games. I was Portal Games US for about 4 years. I stopped that in, I believe, 2018, or maybe it was 2017, when Luke became the U.S. rep, the U.S. president. He took over the company, made the company what it is, right? And so ever since that time, I have just been a volunteer contractor. Like, I bill for my time sometimes. Right? Depending on what it is, I bill for my time. But all of my industry friends know me as I'm Chevee. I'm from Portal Games. I've been doing that for 8 years, and that's how they know me. And so they all asked. So seeing all these people, they ask a lot of questions, like, "Are you still with Portal? What are you doing?" And I have to be like, "No, listen, I have a day job. Like, I don't work in this industry." And they're all like, "Oh, I didn't realize that." And I say, "Yeah, I'm just a contractor." And so they asked me a lot of questions about that. And the truth of the matter is, years ago, if you'd asked me why I don't work in gaming, it's because at that point in time, gaming was my escape from reality. It was my life. It was my passion. And I find that when passions and income cross, they become that the need for income trumps the passion, and suddenly you start losing interest in the thing that you loved. And I didn't want to do that to myself. Additionally, this industry is still extremely small. It is a very niche industry, despite the fact that when you go to Gen Con and you see 50, 60, 70,000 people there, it looks like this massive thing. It's a very cottage industry, and there's not jobs that pay sufficiently in the industry. And I mean, I'm not making a blanket statement. Like, there are people, I'm not trying to say people can't make a living in the industry. You can, but for the same amount of work that I do currently, that job would pay half of what I'm currently making. And I can't afford to do that. I just can't. There are jobs that could do that. Could I start my own company and produce my own board games and turn that into something that would pay me very well? Yeah, I could do that. I don't know that I'm willing to do that. When I did that with my card game Pull, it wrecked me for 4 or 5, 6 months. I was a disaster after that, just deep, deep depression. And I'm not willing to chase that. But as I talk to these friends and as they ask me lots of questions about, was I looking for work, in my head it was like, maybe I am. Like maybe that is a thing I could look into now. I'm a project manager now. I have project manager training, and there's a lot of space for project managers in gaming, and particularly tabletop, board games, whatever. There's a lot of logistics, and project managers are great at handling that sort of thing. Again, it pays maybe not half of what I'm making, but significantly less than what I'm making to take one of those positions. And I just don't think I could do that. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I will figure out a way to just, jump in. But it's not going to be soon. And I'm not, honestly, I'm not really looking. I enjoy my employment. I like my employer. I like the work that I do. I like the team. I really like my team. Really good people. And, I'm in a happy place. So I want to stay in a happy place for as long as I can before I start throwing wrenches. Because, in the past when I've been in happy places, I've made a mess of it because I got complacent, or I sabotaged myself. Yeah, let's go there. There you go. So, today's Shallow Thoughts with Chris. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, friend, how are you? Feels like just yesterday I saw you. Hey, so when we last spoke, we were talking about, leveling up from junior acquaintance to senior acquaintance to maybe friend across the street, move to my neighborhood, to full blown on, I'm a friend of Chevee's, please come over to my house for dinner. So I was always thinking about your blog, podcast, where we call it, have you ever thought about doing a patron's alcohol, some sort of paid advertising funding for your site? Maybe get people to a friend level. And I know you don't do these videos to make money or fun stuff, but just curious, is that something you've ever considered? Missed you already. Until next time.
Yeah, I have. And in fact, in the past, I've had a Patreon. When this show first started and I was seeing about 150 to 200 views per video, I set up a Patreon to try to help grow the channel, and I would do a weekly Sunday video that was more like a vlog. I would carry the camera around, show you my house, talk about what I've been working on, that sort of stuff. That vlog series only lasted like maybe maybe 3 months, like 6, 8, 10 episodes, something like that, before I gave up on it. I had like 3 people sign up for the Patreon, and for the longest, that's not true. I think maybe at one point I had 10. So I was making $15 a month or $20 a month off of it. And I felt bad about not giving the extra stuff, and so I kind of descaled. I scaled down the tiers. It was just like a way to say thank you. And I stopped promoting it years ago. And just within the last year, maybe 2 years, I shut it down. Like I'm not going to take money that way anymore. There are other ways. You could below my videos, there's the thank yous, like the super thanks. You can pay $5 or something to say thank you. There's shirts that you can purchase, merchant links down there. Those are all things that YouTube provides. But I guess if there was a way that we could grow the audience organically without me having to be a shill, then if I could get those views back, if I could get back to hundreds of views per video, maybe I would turn it back on and try to actually start some sort of club, But the truth of the matter is, regardless of me saying something about how friend works in my head and acquaintances and all that stuff, I start this show every day saying hi to my friends, and that's all of you, and that's honest and true. And I met, a few of you at Gen Con, including Chris. So, I met Chris years ago. So, but again, if I could figure out a way to grow this thing, without me having to, this is the thing, the effort level that I'm willing to put into this to try to grow it is minimal. I'm not going to go start doing challenge videos and taking you on daily motorcycle rides or having, huge spectacular visuals on the screen. That's not what this is, and that's not what it's ever going to be. And unfortunately, me doing talk therapy on camera every day is not interesting to the vast majority of people. So if there was a way to find organic growth, I don't know how to do it without trying harder, and I don't know that I'm willing to try harder. I like the friends that I have made through this channel, and I hope that you guys stick with me. I don't know. We could talk about it in the comments, though. Leave me a message. Call the phone number like Chris does and leave a message. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is nadir. It is a noun meaning rock bottom, the lowest of the low, the worst thing can get or become. We always have to attend the Wallingtons' Christmas party due to their standing, but in truth, that dreadfully boring event is always the nadir of our social calendar. Nadir. N-A-D-I-R. Man, that's a good word. I've never heard that before. Nadir.